Welcome back to Maelstrom Gaming Studios. Today we have our first video of the Admech Codex review. Today we're going to be going over the Forge Worlds and kind of give you all of their unique pieces of information. We have their stratagems, their relics, warlord traits, and their dogmas, as well as give a bit of a playstyle and some key units you might want to include if you're using that Forge World. Also at the end of the video, we will be going over the custom Forge Worlds. And again, just kind of give you the lowdown of each of them. They're not as special as the Forge Worlds here, but they are what we have to work with. If that all sounds good to you, let's get into the video. So before we get started, if you guys are not aware, we do have a giveaway going for one Skitarii Marshal. There he is. We'll put the video right here. Just watch that video. It tells you how to enter the giveaway. Free to anybody in the US or North America and Europe, but that video explains everything there. Check it out. Yeah.
Free's a good price.
Pretty good.
Nice.
So as we get into the Forge Worlds, let's just go over again. Each Forge World has its own dogma, warlord trait, relic, and stratagem. And with that, we'll start with the first one, the biggest one of them all, Mars. Their dogma, which is the rule that all Skitarii units gain, is that they gain canticles. So now they have access to all the canticle rules and all of the Skitarii buffs, which are called cut.
Hold up. Which I called cut.
Which are called their doctrine imperatives. Remember that.
Which we knew.
Which we knew. Yeah. We knew that. Back to it. They gain, they also, little thing, they reroll one hit roll per unit. Just a nice little added bonus. Great for some of your units that only have a certain number of shots per unit.
True.
The trait.
Warlord trait.
Warlord trait. The Warlord and one Cult Mechanicus core unit gain any canticle instead of the current one. So there are, 5 canticles in there. You basically say, all right, my Warlord and another unit, we want to have Shroud Psalm instead of what's currently active.
And it just activates for them.
Just for those two, yep.
Wow, that's interesting.
Pretty nice. It can help out if your Warlord is more of a tactical guy. Get him up there and help out a unit that needs it.
Right.
The Relic, great Relic. Not sure how much you'll actually use it, but the Red Axe is Strength +2, AP -5,
it's
damage 2, and it gives you 3 extra attacks. So on your Tech Priest Dominus, I believe you're going to be rocking around with 6 attacks.
It's pretty strong, honestly, if you use it.
It's good for combat. It'll definitely chop down a good amount of Space Marines there.
Yeah.
But if you're getting in combat with your Dominus, I don't know if it's really what you want, but
it's a great backup strategy most of the time.
If you got nothing else.
Yeah.
Then finally, the stratagem, Wrath of Mars. It's 1 or 2 command points depending on the power level of the unit that you're using it on.
What's the cutoff again?
10 power level, so it's 10 or more, then it's 2 command points. So unfortunately, your unit of Castellan robots is now at a minimum 10 power level.
Right.
So they will be, and it's mortal wounds on 6s to wound in the shooting phase. And it's now a cap of 6 mortal wounds to a max. So no longer are the days of potentially getting 10 mortal wounds and wiping out a tank.
Right, which we'll get into in a different video with the Castellan robots, but yeah.
Yep, so that's them. So now some potential, key units, playstyles. Mars, again, it encompasses pretty much everything. So there isn't really a specific thing you have to, you should focus on. You can play just about any army you want, though it will favor the gun line a little bit more than the combat.
Right.
Obviously, you get those rerolls to hit, which do work only in shooting. Does it say right here?
Reroll.
Shoot or fight. Never mind. It works for both.
Nice.
So there you go. You can really use it for whatever you want, but it also allows you to have a good balance of some strong Skitarii units and Cult Mechanicus at the same time.
Sure.
So that's that one.
The next one.
My new favorite one, I think, but you can start us off with it.
We'll be testing this one out probably next week or the week after, so stay tuned for the battle report, but it is Forge World Lucius. To start off, their dogma, which is, as we know, all of these Skitarii get this upgrade. They have +1 to their save versus damage 1 weapons. meaning they have a 3+.
Well, so it's not only just the little guys, but the tanks too.
The tanks
so
too.
if you're shooting bolters or something at your onagers or your dune riders or which are the transports, your dragoons, they're sitting at 2-up saves now.
Okay, so +1 to saves versus damage 1 from everything, which is kind of insane.
Yep.
And they get 3-inch added to their range to all of their weapons.
All weapons get that.
It's kind of insane. Once again, the Warlord trait that it comes with, or you can choose from this, is a core unit within 9 inches of your Warlord can only be wounded on a 4+. And as we talked about before, you pick a unit within 9 inches each turn.
In the command phase, yep, you nominate
In the command
somebody.
phase. Okay.
So you have to do a little bit of planning to make sure your Warlord is going to be in the next turn within range of a unit. But 9 inches is a pretty flexible range there.
It really is, and extremely useful for the list that I assume will be coming in this edition.
It works in like 2 different ways. So you can use it on your little toughness 3 Scutari. So now Bolter is only wounded on 4s.
Right.
Or you can put it on your big units like your Iron Striders, which are going to be taking a lot of firepower.
Make them better against the heavy weapons.
The las cannons and everything are only wounding them on 4s. So it works for both units, really.
Wow, okay. And the Relic, which, I mean, so far I've only seen 2 relics, but this one seems like a really great one between them. It's called the Solar Flare, and it allows the bearer and 1 core unit to be teleported. Now, people who used to play Necrons or know of the old Necrons, this has been, it's a different name, but they've kind of had a similar thing for a while, and it is very useful.
Yeah, so
very useful.
You still have to follow the rules of the 9 inches away and
deep striking, basically.
But it's a way to get off a turn 1 deep strike almost. They still have to start on the table, but you can launch a unit 9 inches away.
There isn't many things like that in the game.
The Necrons,
right now.
Necrons, the things that got it right now.
Necrons have it. Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's very interesting. And the stratagem that is special to Lucius is called Legio Teleportarium. I said it right?
Yeah, you got it.
And it allows 2 of your non-vehicle units to be put into Deep Strike Reserve before the game starts.
Yep, so you use this in the deployment phase.
Yeah.
You can use it twice if you're playing Strike Force.
Right, 1 command point per
unit. And any non-infantry, so you can do it 2 ways.
I was just thinking that, yeah. Can you do, are the Castellan robots vehicles?
Yeah, they're vehicles.
They're vehicles.
So, but you could do Rust Stalkers.
Yeah.
You could do big blocks of Scutari.
Big blocks sounds pretty interesting, like we'll see later.
Like what you'll see maybe later.
Yeah.
Or you could, you could do it on Electro Priests.
Yeah.
Try
different stuff with it, because it sounds pretty powerful.
So we've already touched on a little bit with kind of the key into play styles, but Vanguard, I think, are going to do really well in this with the Dogma. The extra 3 inches is huge.
Yeah.
On an 18-inch range gun.
Yeah, well, and the save.
And the save.
It's
the
huge.
Save is awesome because now you're getting 3-up saves on 8-point models.
And, I mean, those models are where the 1 damage guns go when you're playing against Scutari.
Yeah, if you're putting damage 2 weapons on 8-point models, then they're not going somewhere else that's much more.
That's even better for you then. Yeah.
Also, sterilizers are going to be awesome in this one because now their flames are 15-inch range, which means you don't have to worry about getting within, a threat range when you deep strike with your sterilizers.
Yeah.
And you can get, 6, 7, 8, 9 flamers off.
It's true. You can keep them
back.
A good bit safer.
You might not even, depending on the game, you might not even have to deep strike them. They could be in range after 1 turn of movement.
True.
But yeah, so again, powerful alpha strike with this army. Unlike, I feel like things we've seen in 9th edition so far, there aren't too many armies that can pull off an alpha strike like this right now. I know Blood Angels can do a combat version of this, but it's pretty good. The Warlord trait, like I said, can be really good on Vanguard and Iron Striders.
Yeah.
Both units will be taking some heavy firepower.
Things that ride the line of being squishy for their weight class, I guess, if that makes sense. You can beef them up to the next level.
That's a good way to look at it because the Vanguard are outclassed by the Space Marines and the Iron Striders, durability-wise, are outclassed by pretty much any other tank out there.
But this makes them
great.
And you can choose and change things like as the game is going, which gives it a lot of
A lot of flexibility.
Versatility, yeah.
Yeah. I love it right now.
Yeah.
So Agripinaa is how I'm saying it.
Agripinaa.
I think that's how you do it.
Agripinaa.
I mean, if it's like Scutarii, because technically Scutarii, Agripinaa, Agripinaa.
That's my favorite one so far. Agripinaa.
Their Dogma, you get an extra AP when you're within half range of your shooting weapons.
Yeah. I'm just learning all these for the first time, by the way.
Yes,
so that's why I'm like,
you're learning. I spent the whole weekend going through the codex and coming up with all of these, but you are kind of learning these for the first time.
Which is fun. It's like watching a review.
Yeah.
A reaction video, you know.
And then Hold Steady, you can overwatch on 5-ups, which is, it's a rule we don't play with as much just because of the way we use terrain, but a lot of people do use this rule, and allowing to overwatch on 5-ups is great.
Yeah.
The trait, core units within 6 inches, they basically have that banner rule, so on a 4+ they can attack or they can shoot when they're slain.
Okay.
So if you've got a big blob
attack or shoot when they okay.
Yeah, so think of it like, you know, you got a block of Vanguard and they get shot at by some assault intercessors or something. They die, say 5 of them die, roll 5 dice. On a 4-up, they get to shoot back at them as they die.
Okay, so you get a 50-50 shot at taking shots as you die.
Or swings,
attacking.
But yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, it could be good. These are the same rules that the Space Marine banners all have. Okay. I don't know. I'm not sold on it yet like I have been some of the other ones, but I think there's a place for it. I mean, this works on a core unit, and your Iron Striders are core. Yeah. So you could put it next to an Iron Strider, so when they die, they get to shoot, which is not a nice thing to get shot at. Yeah. But yeah, that's that.
Sounds okay.
The relic is the Eye of Z Lexum.
I think you're right.
So core cataphrons. This is the first time we've seen cataphrons. So core or cataphrons within 6 inches re-roll wounds against vehicles when they're within 18 inches.
Of the bearer of the relic?
No, of the vehicle. So if they're within 18 inches of the vehicle, I know there's a lot of ranges and stuff going on.
Okay.
This is our first way we can see how you buff cataphrons, which is not as common in this book as others. Yeah. But there's some weapons that can be good if you combine this. A lot of the cataphrons, they've got only like 1 or 2 shot weapons. So getting as many rerolls on your 2 wounds. Especially now. Yeah. This would be good. Your breachers, they're the 2+ save guys. You want to kind of get them up to take those forward objectives. So if you're already going to be close, that might work out pretty well for them. Yeah. And then the stratagem, indented machines. You can use this twice, just like the other ones. You pay 1 command point for each. This is a pre-battle one. And they stay. Yeah, no, you're right. They stay toughness 6.
I was jumping the gun.
You jumped the gun there. They stay toughness 6. So now you have a 2-up save, toughness 6 unit, or a 3-up save for the destroyers. But yeah.
So this is the, as we'll get to here, potential key units for these guys.
First, I put out Rangers. Yeah. Because within half range, they're 30-inch range. They're heavy 2, 30-inch range, and they're already AP -1. So now if you can get them within half range, you can be AP -2 on your basic weapon.
Shooting some characters.
Shooting, or just regular infantry. Yeah. And there is a stratagem. We'll do another video on stratagems, but there's a stratagem to turn, I believe it is their heavy 2 into rapid fire 2. It's 2 command points. So now if you're within half range, they are 4 shots apiece. So a squad of 20 within half range will have 80 shots at strength 4, AP -2.
80 shots.
It's crazy.
Wow. Okay.
But this is, I mean, I would almost solely use Rangers in this detachment.
Okay, so now I kind of see this list is mostly going to be, as we'll continue, got Rangers for the little guys, and then obviously we have Iron Striders with autocannons.
Yeah, autocannons, they got like 36-inch range, so getting within 18 is doable, and they're only AP -1. That's the only downside to autocannons, really, is the low AP. But now cataphrons will do awesome because you've got the stratagems taking 2 big squads of cataphrons, getting an extra AP on all their weapons.
Very interesting.
I think if you want to play heavy Cataphront, this might be the Forge World for you.
So
There's
far.
some other ones, but this one's pretty dang good.
Yeah.
All right, our next one.
Okay.
Graia.
Sounds right.
Graia.
Graia. Okay.
First Dogma. I'll say it right now. Not my favorite out of all of them so
Auto
far.
pass combat attrition on a 5+ feel no pain versus
Mortal Wounds.
mortal wounds.
Eh,
Seems yeah.
they seem to be kind of a very anti-psychic one. As we're going. So
yeah,
it
right.
just combat attritions. I don't know. I know they're more common now in 9th edition.
Still not very common though.
But
I don't think.
if you're playing it, I mean, if you're playing big squads as Skitarii, passing combat attrition tests is always nice. But
Right.
It seems very lackluster compared to the past ones we've gone over.
I mean, compare it, I'd say especially to Mars so far, it's tough to...
Yeah.
Maybe if you're fighting Thousand Suns or Grey Knights and you know you're fighting them, you could do something.
I'm not a big fan of list tailoring.
Yeah.
But if you want to and you know you're going up against a Thousand Suns, Psyker heavy.
And it's cool that they say it's cool to pick your list against them.
Yeah, if you do that, then absolutely, this could come in handy.
Okay. Well, continuing on, the Warlord trait they get is a core unit within 9 inches can heroically intervene at 6 inches instead of 3.
Yeah.
So, core unit at 9 inches can heroically... I mean, it has its uses. There's a few armies
uses.
that put great effect to that.
Yeah, it's got its uses.
Maybe not the best in Skitarii, but...
Not, I mean, unit of Rust Stalkers maybe, but if you're heroically intervening, you should probably already be up there and not...
Right.
Maybe it's got its use. If you guys have a use for it, let us know. But
Yeah, let us know how wrong we are about this.
I'm just
Forge
not
World
seeing much with this Forge World still.
so far.
Keep going.
Okay. The relic is called the Cerebral Technomire. It gives a additional 3-inch range to auras and combat abilities. Command abilities.
You're good.
Very different words.
It is, I didn't put it on here, but it is a max of 9 inches. Just, there's a few other ways to boost up your range.
So you're boosting up your 3 and 6 inch auras, basically.
Yeah, to 9 and 6 inches.
Okay.
Which, I mean...
I'm sure it has uses somewhere.
There's something.
Yeah.
But your command abilities. So now your Warlord trait, which is a command ability, is now... Oh no, it's already 9 inches.
Max of 9 inches, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Once again, let us know. Let us know where we can use this.
Your reroll 1 bubbles can now be 9 inches. Put that on a Skitarii Marshal or something.
I mean, that is useful. If you have big blocks of guys, I mean, that's what you have at the bottom there too.
But and then stratagem, Steel Mind, Iron Logic, an 18-inch Deny the Witch on a 4+.
Great name.
I like it.
Love the name of that.
This is a great stratagem. It's a shame it's only tied to this
That
Forge
is a shame,
World.
yeah.
I wish everyone had access to that.
It's only 1 command point. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's great.
All right. And the key units and playstyles of this Forge World, we already kind of touched on it a little bit, but large squads of Skitarii.
Yeah.
Definitely going to be useful considering the aura increase. I guess that's the relic. But.
Yeah, you're good. You can take advantage of the auto passing combat attrition. Is the only time it'll really come up is in your larger squads.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay.
Again, your marshals and your tech priests will get bigger influence thanks to your potential aura increase if you give them that relic.
Yeah.
And like we said, it's good anti-psychic if you know you're going up against those.
Pretty much. I mean, if you need dedicated anti-psychic and you know it, then do this.
Do this.
That's the best. That's the best we can say for it. Yeah.
Okay. Stygies. This used to be my favorite back in 8th edition Codex. I love Stygies.
Why is it Stygies VIII?
That's just their thing.
Oh, that's what it's called?
Yeah, Stygies VIII.
Gotcha.
So their dogma has changed a little bit, but what it is now non-core vehicles get dense cover, so -1 to hit, if they're greater than 18 inches away from whoever's shooting them.
Yeah.
And all other units, so core vehicles and everything else, is now 12 inches. Oh, still 12 inches away. They're -1 to hit. It's still really good. It's
really
a
good.
huge durability buff.
Yeah.
It'll really, again, help out Iron Striders, which are going to be the backbone of everybody's army right now. They're
especially in
so
this
good.
Forge World.
This Forge World, because they're core, they can keep their distance pretty good.
Yeah.
The trait, 2 Stygies units can redeploy into Strategic Reserve.
Great.
It's interesting. I don't know how much it'll actually come into play, but it's always
some trickery.
some trickery.
Yeah,
it
it's
might
cool.
come into play, yeah.
Yeah.
Relic, Omnisci's Hand. Once per game, it's a 12-inch aura of mortal wounds. So you basically just use this hand and then it spits out a ring of electricity or something, and you roll a die for every unit within 12 inches, enemy unit.
Yeah.
A 2 through 5, they take a mortal wound. On a 6, they take D3 mortal wounds.
Okay. So it's like a little psychic power thing.
Yeah.
Without doing psychic tests.
I don't know how useful this will be.
Does
but
a 1 just do nothing when you roll a 1?
Yeah, 1 just does nothing.
Okay.
It might, if you can get your Warlord, or you can put these, we haven't touched on it much, but your relics can now go on your Vanguard Alphas or your Princeps.
You could do some fancy
You can do
stuff
some
with that,
things
I
with
bet.
that.
Wow.
So you could put it on, like a Vanguard squad or
definitely do
a Ruststalker squad and run up the field and then boom, and just do a bunch of mortal wounds. But at the same time, I don't know if 1 mortal wound is really going to do much.
No. Can I sidebar here?
Sure.
Can you put any relic on the Ruststalker guy? Like the Mars relic? The close combat one?
No, because that one is it's specifically
Tech
for
priest.
the axe.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
It does say in here which ones can
Okay.
be part of which.
Gotcha.
There are Stygies, or there's Skitarii specific, and there are cult specific, and then these ones are depending on.
Gotcha. That would have been really cool.
That would be cool.
That'd be sick.
But you can't do that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Back to it.
Yeah.
The stratagem, clandestine infiltration. Stygies core infantry unit can be set up 9 inches away from any models during deployment.
Any core infantry?
Yeah. That's pretty cool. So that will
Set up your whole. You could make your whole army core. If
it's only one thing.
Oh.
So it's 1, and you can pay 2. We didn't put it here, but you can pay twice and do it for 2.
Gotcha.
I
okay.
believe. Let's check. We got the Codex here.
That makes sense.
Ruststalkers, I believe they're core. Skystalkers, Sulphur Hounds, Ruststalkers, they have the core. Yep, so that's what I thought. So
Wow.
you could use that and put 2 big blocks of Ruststalkers right up in the front line. Or at least,
Cool.
that's being a little risky to do them that way.
Yeah.
At least put them like in cover.
Strategic position or something.
Because they
yeah.
get good bonuses for being in cover now.
Oh, man.
So you could put them forward, and now they can just move out and get there.
Wow, okay.
It's good.
Yeah.
These guys play a very it's hard to put a peg on how they play. Like a lot of these, they're not like restricted to you gotta play
You have to
them
do this way, yeah.
They're very flexible most of the time. So you can play these combat if you don't want to be key like max damage combat, but you still can do good in combat.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what playstyle it would be.
You can have your vehicles at a long range gun line, but also you can take advantage of being very mobile on the midfield.
It's kind of like, it's not like the Forge World Mars, but I think both of those two are very open. Like you can do a lot of different stuff with them.
They're very universal. It's just another way to play. I still think it's really good. The vehicles, like I have here, will get a big durability buff.
Yeah.
Keeping them in the back line, having -1 to hit built in on them is huge.
Yeah.
Otherwise, very balanced play by them.
Cool.
Happy with Stygies.
Sounds very good. Ryza, which is the close combat one. We've talked a little bit about this previous to filming, but this one seems exciting too.
Yep.
We've got their Dogma. +1 to charge, right?
Yep.
+1 to wound in the first round of melee. So, pretty good.
Pretty good.
Ruststalkers, Infiltrators, Electro Priests benefit greatly.
They're going to be wounding all basic infantry on 2s or 3s now in the first round.
Very useful.
Very
Very
good.
useful. The Warlord trait is 1 core unit within 6 inches of the Warlord gets an additional AP -1.
That's great.
You pick every turn, or you?
Yep, it's the same as
the other thing.
The other one, so you nominate them in the command phase.
That is really good.
And I believe this is also one of these traits that can go on the alphas or the princeps themselves.
Yeah.
So let's take a quick look. So looking at the host of intermediary, I don't believe, unless we get FAQ'd otherwise, that these ones can classify as ones the princeps and the alphas can take.
Gotcha.
Just because it doesn't say these are specific to Scutari or specific to other characters, all people default to say that they can't take them.
It makes sense too, because it looks like it's a Volkite blaster, which is a weapon of the...
Oh, I was talking about the Warlord trait.
Oh, you were?
The Warlord trait, yeah.
Should we back it
But
up?
same with the relics. No, this is good. That's still a good point. The
Okay.
relics have the same thing going on too. I don't think these relics
gotcha.
can be taken by the princeps or alpha,
Okay.
but
I don't think so either.
yeah.
That'd be pretty strong.
It would be strong.
Yeah.
Of course, that one, it has to replace a Volkite blaster.
Right.
So that goes on your...
So that is definitely just for the
that's just for your Dominus.
type priest.
So what it is, it's a special Volkite blaster, XCIX. That's a Roman numeral. I don't know what it is. Like 4,000 or 10, I don't know.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Maybe. I don't
Something
know.
like that.
Someone tell us what it is.
Yeah.
So it's heavy 3, that hasn't changed. Strength 7, so it gets an extra strength. Extra AP, damage 2, and you do 2.
So the relic, not crazy.
No.
Nothing crazy, but I mean, if you're using Ryza,
If you
can throw it in there.
got a room for a relic, yeah.
You can throw it in
Wouldn't
there.
hurt.
And their stratagem for Ryza is called Plasma Specialist. For 2 command points, add 1 damage to plasma weapons. Wow, that could be pretty insane.
So it's really good. Plasma specifically, I believe it is. No, it's just plasma weapons. So it's 2 command points though. So I would never use this on Vanguard anymore or Rangers.
Right.
Vanguard or Rangers, because you can only take at most 2 plasma guns.
Right.
So for 2 command points.
So
not
you use
worth
this on breachers?
Cataphrons,
Yeah.
destroyers that have the heavy plasma culverins.
Right.
That's the only time I'd use it on them.
So not the best stratagem.
It's not as good as it used to be,
No.
but there's still a lot of potential there because you can take that big block of plasma cannons. And now you got 6, 9 D6 shots with damage 3 plasmas. It's still
so if you're
good.
taking cataphrons,
It's still good. It's just 2 command points. You're only going to probably use it once or twice a game, but it could really do some damage for you.
It doesn't really fit the best with its Forge World.
That's the key thing. Yeah, it doesn't really fit the rest of it.
It's kind of odd, but that's okay.
Yep.
The rest of it's good. Ryza seems good to me.
Yeah.
Suggested units and playstyles. It is the best close combat Forge World. So that being said, take Dragoons, Ruststalkers, Infiltrators. Those are the bat guys.
Infiltrators?
Or what are the Taraxi?
Taraxi are the bat guys. Yep.
The bat guys, yeah.
Sterilizers and the other ones.
Right.
That I don't remember, but...
And then also, for some reason, Cataphrons with Plasma can be helped with this. And that's right, you mentioned you can not...
Yeah, we didn't say this at the beginning of the video, so we'll put it in now. This book doesn't restrict you from playing one Forge World, unlike all the other books that have been coming out.
Every single other codex, yeah.
All the new 9th Age codexes have restricted you to being one of your detachment type.
It must be on purpose, right?
It must be. I haven't found
There's no way they could miss
If
that.
someone knows where it is that it says it,
Yeah.
let me know. But I have scanned this thing over and over, and it does not say anywhere. It just says you have to be Adeptus Mechanicus.
It's very odd.
It doesn't say you have to be a specific Forge World.
As far as we know, or that's actually why I brought this up, is these guys would be good to bring a little patrol of with a bigger force of a different Forge World.
Yeah,
Is that
so
what
you could
think?
play like Lucius or something that is much more shooting.
Yeah.
Mars potentially, and just bring a marshal and a squad of rangers and a unit or 2 of Ruststalkers.
And apparently it doesn't
Yeah, you just have to make
hurt you at
sure.
all.
I mean, the special rules still don't like overlap. So
No, I know, but still.
But it won't hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll just get the bonuses. That attachment will get all these bonuses.
So very useful for little
Little supplement.
tools you need. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have a list that needs something specific.
So that's, yeah, but that's Ryza. I think they're basically discount Blood Angels or robotic Blood Angels. The only difference is Blood Angels get the extra +1 to advance on top of +1 to charge. But I'm not going to complain. These guys are, now Rustsuckers are
It's pretty solid.
mediocre to serious threats on the table.
Yeah.
Now we have Metalica. So their dogma is they ignore the heavy weapon penalty to moving and firing heavy weapons and the assault weapon penalty to advancing and firing assault weapons.
Heavy. Okay. Just
So,
keep going,
you know,
I'll think
infantry.
about it.
So like your Rangers.
I get the infantry one, but the
Yeah.
heavy weapons for...
Infantry. That's the only penalty.
Oh, I see.
And then your assault weapons for moving and advancing with infantry and firing assault weapons.
Okay.
The -1 to hit, they ignore that, which is good.
Okay.
Enemies in melee with them count as half strength for morale purposes, which will only come into play with, well, I guess it might help with your leadership check.
Yeah.
No, with your combat attrition. That's a technical. So when you're rolling your combat attrition, you will always roll on 1s and 2s will kill an extra model instead.
Okay.
Something. Their trait, 1 unit within 12 inches is -1 to hit for the next command until the next command phase.
So most of the traits are
Command
one
abilities.
unit within... Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're all like
command
little command abilities that get popped off.
It's kind of cool.
So that, I mean, that's great. -1 to
good.
hit is
Yeah.
good. The relic is fun. And I don't know how good it is. The adamantine arm is strength ×3.
I've never seen that in the whole game.
I've never seen it before. Damage, or AP -4, damage 4, +1 to hit, not -1, but +1 to hit, but you can only make a single attack.
I was
with
waiting
this
for
weapon.
the other shoe to drop with that.
So this is like this is the power fist. You can only
times 3.
×3. So it's strength.
Power fist times 3.
I think it's only strength 9 though, even being ×3.
Why? They're only strength 3?
I think they're only strength 3.
Oh, base.
So the guys who take this are the little robots that babysit the big Castellans.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where are they in here?
So it's like a big...
Cybernetica Data Smith.
It's like a big...
Oh, he's strength 4. So this is strength 12 punch.
That's pretty good.
I think so.
If it's strength 12, that's pretty good.
Let's see here.
Strength 9, I wouldn't be as impressed.
Metallica. Oh no. No. I'm thinking of a different relic. This one can be used on anything. It's just an extra arm you weld onto your dude.
And you only get 1 attack.
You get 1 big punch with it.
So, good or bad?
I don't.
It's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
It'll kill something maybe.
It'd be cool to see a model converted with it, like an arm that's as
big
big as its
arm.
whole body, you know, sticking
Coming
out of
the
its back.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
It'd be cool. Stratagem's pretty neat. Funky one here. Deafening Assault.
Oh.
When a Metallica model shoots, you choose one enemy unit within 12 inches. It doesn't have to be the model they shot, just a different enemy unit, or it could be the same one. And they must have their move and cannot overwatch or set to defend.
For the next turn.
For the rest of the turn.
They can't, okay. But they
So-
can't move. Okay, gotcha.
I guess, well, let's see here. Have the move characteristic of models in that unit.
Well, that's
Start
interesting.
of your next turn, so yeah, it would be their turn. Thank you.
Huh, okay.
So I guess it could be like, hey, you can gun down 1 unit, but still neutralize or stun a second unit.
I think that's actually kind of good.
I think it's got some play in there.
Because
Absolutely.
I'm thinking like, if I was playing Necrons and you had some of these guys on the front of the board, you could shoot like one group of wraiths and then have the movement of another
one, yeah.
which would be devastating.
Or it could shoot, your warriors or mortals and slow down the raids.
Good stratagem.
The only thing is you gotta be within 12 inches
Yeah.
of that enemy unit. So
They
they're
have to move. Okay.
already probably pretty close to you.
Yeah.
That's just my one little hiccup with it, is they're already probably close, so
Yeah, that's true. That kind of does. Yeah.
I don't know. But
Solid.
they have
probably.
You've got Warzone Cardon, which gives you all sorts of different rules for Metalica. So I don't feel too bad that their rules are kind of so-so in the Codex, because the Warzone Cardon book gives you plenty of other ways to play Metalica with extra bonuses and relics and traits and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Check that one out. I don't think we'll review it here because I don't want to buy the book. Maybe I can find it online, but I don't want to buy the book because it's like $60.
Right.
And
or maybe we'll just stumble onto it.
We might just stumble upon it, but yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed that deep dive of all of the Forge Worlds in the new Adeptus Mechanicus Codex.
With a great cover.
Or Codex Scutari, as I like to call it, and a lot of people are calling it. It's a lot of fun. I hope to do many more videos where we will cover a lot more of the stratagems. Next one's coming up. We will be covering the stratagems, the relics, the warlord traits, and then eventually we will get into the more deep dives like we have been doing recently for the Tyranids, where we will cover individual units on a 10-15 minute video of all about them. We will be starting those up as soon as we finish up some of the core stuff with the Codex. Lastly, before we go, we will say it one more time. Giveaway going. Go up to the video. We'll be somewhere around here. Check that out. Join it. There's only, I think, like 50 people who are in it. So your odds are pretty good at potentially winning it compared to a lot of sort of giveaways like that. Benefit of being a small channel.
Yeah, benefit from our smallness here.
Small channel here. But do that. Support us.
Come back for more.
Come back for more. Thank you guys for watching.